are live again. Please God. Please God it. Hello. God damn it, I still hear it. Not through your phone. Oh. Please
SWB audio capture not registered.
It was. It sounds like a like like there's a, how do you say this in English? Un cortocircuito en el cable. Cable is what's another word for glitching? A cable can't glitch. You know what I mean? Yes. So, and like I've muted my mic. Right. Okay, I have an idea. I'm gonna like delete our audios from my Streamlabs and then like recreate them. Basically a restart. I'm gonna try this, okay? So for a second we're gonna like be muted. But just for a little bit. Resource will be removed, yes. This is my guy over here. There I am. Cool, cool, cool. And then adding you, which is over here. This is my guy over here. There I am. There's my audio, and it's clean. There's no woo woo woo. Cool. And then adding. So far, I'm just gonna add yours and hope. There's my audio, and it's clean. There's no woo woo woo. Okay, but it's not capturing your audio though. So far, I'm just gonna add yours. Like I added it, but like it's not registering your audio. Okay. Did you turn something off on your end? Okay, but it's not capturing your audio. Like I added it, but like it's not registering your audio. Okay. Did you turn something off on your end? Okay, but it's not capturing your audio. Like I added it, but like it's not registering your audio. Okay. Did you turn something off on your end? Okay, but it's not capturing your audio. Okay, wait. I gotta check something. From my phone into my microphone? But I haven't muted the stream. Unless I'm like checking for the woo woo woo, I like turn it up and turn it back down. So like it's not that. La la la, what am I looking for? ¿Cómo se llama? SWB audio capture each. There you are. Where is it? Come back. What? There it was. Come on, man. There you are. Okay. Clicking it. Opening it. I think this is gonna solve all our problems, maybe. Cross your fingers. Nothing matters. Everything's fine. Okay. Are you gonna open or what? Okay. Yeah. Oh my god, it's up here. Jesus Christ. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. I did the thing, but it's still not capturing your audio. Do you have Audacity open? God damn it. Talk. Talk again? Talking again. What about now? No. No. What about... I'm crying. Mike, F, Mike, what? Review. Okay. Shit. Okay. Yes, correct. Yeah. Yeah, correct. Why?
Probably send you a configuration file. You could copy over and use OBS.
Yeah. Okay, so your audio on Skype, are you talking to me through your mic, like on Skype? Through your, okay.
Yeah,
Your podcast mic,
my podcast is running through Skype, yes.
Okay.
So, yeah, I don't think there should be a problem that it's running into Audacity and into Skype.
Yeah.
I think that's what I did for our Gary Groner interview, and it was fine.
Do.
Hold on.
Window.
Let's do that again.
Do what again?
Oh my god. I did it. Speak again?
Speak. Bark, woof, woof, meow.
Yes, baby. I made it happen. Okay, nobody move.
What'd you fix? What'd you change?
So on Skype, I was playing with the different options of I'm gonna tell you so you can tell me back when I forget. Of speakers. The thing that says speakers,
Yeah.
it was like on other options. So I went through them all, and the one that worked is I show you audio capture. Okay, Bish?
See.
Great. All right. Wait, we are live. Okay, but does it work live?
Oh my god, have we been live that whole time?
Yeah.
I show you audio capture. Okay, Bish?
That's alright. I'm sure we don't have anybody watching.
It works!
All right.
They hear you! I feel like invincible, like Rick! I am the Rickest Rick, bitch. I made it happen because I am God! Anyways.
That's called dopamine. Yeah. Electronics have a way of doing that. So I'm still wondering about, am I still like super choppy in the video? Which I know it. Nah.
That is something beyond my skill set of how to fix. I think this is like we need to take time to like look up YouTube videos, perhaps.
Yeah. Capture method. I don't know. Automatic. Match
Dude,
title.
I want to start talking about this episode. When can we start?
Okay. Match title otherwise fun. Yeah.
Also,
All right,
my
I'm gonna
other
close.
question is... Hello?
Anyway, I'll fiddle around with OBS later.
My other question
Bathroom
is...
now.
Okay, go. Fucking go.
I'm going.
Okay, go.
Right now. No, not really. Okay.
There he goes. Look at him. So proud. Yes. Ooh, is that a skull? Let's analyze Josh's real background, okay? There is a globe, which, my God, I hadn't seen since, like, when I was a little kid in my grandma's house. There was a globe. Something is moving. Somebody's opening the door. Is that a reflection? Is that the other room? Is that the TV in the other room? I cannot tell. There's the infamous wine bottle in the skeleton hands between two other wine bottles. Great. There's no shortage of wine. Good to know. And then I believe that's just like a box underneath. A hat? Is that a hat? Is that a cowboy hat? And then under the hat, there's like some sort of highlighter, portal gun fluid, green, yellow, something that I can't tell what it is. But I like the color. So, I think that is a TV in the other room. Wow. Incredible. Okay. I'm so excited. I'm stoked. Shh, guys, shut up. He's back. It's okay. He can't hear us until he puts it. Hey, Josh, what's up?
I'm hoping you couldn't hear everything that I was doing in there because I have a bathroom like attached to my office. It's kind of wonderful.
Oh, nice. No, I couldn't hear
Yeah,
anything.
I was literally like 3 feet away.
Good to know.
Yeah.
My question is, do we have like an intro? Like you guys do like, this is a podcast about blah, 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 Buffy, retroanalytical love roast, blah, blah, blah. You have like your intro speech.
Sure.
We don't have
I mean,
that,
I think
right?
all we really need to do is welcome to Wubba Lubba PodPod. I'm Josh. I'm Alex. Today we're going to talk about season whatever, episode whatever of Rick and Morty.
Yes, makes sense.
And at least for this intro episode and maybe the first few episodes, I don't know if we want to make a habit out of it or not. I was going to run over pretty much everything we ran over in our intro, but try and like do it really quickly and get it out of the way so that we can start talking about the actual episode.
Yeah. Okay, sounds good.
Yep. Cool. Are we streaming? Are we live?
We are, yeah. All of this,
Cool. Do we have
it's
any
been
viewers?
15 minutes. Just you and me, baby. Are you watching? We're watching each other.
Nice.
Okay.
I'm not actively viewing currently. I don't.
No,
think.
I have it in the on my iPad in the side, all the way muted so that there's no feedback. But if we need to check the sound, I just need to turn it up a little.
Okay.
I'm not.
Okay, I can hear you. Yes, good. All right. Where is my notes? I'm ready.
God damn it. Twitch. CH. God damn.
Do you need help?
Yeah, I do. Lots of it, and I can't find it. Do you know where it went?
What are you talking about?
And I don't know how to mute it.
Just lower the volume of your device, bro.
Oh, yeah. I guess that works.
Yeah, good.
Cool story, Rick.
Because if you actually mute it, the view doesn't count. So don't do that. At least give the view, you know?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Is there a way to mute it from? How did I never unfollowed that. Oh, I'm not logged in. Not that it matters.
Yeah.
I don't know how to log in, and I don't care. So, whatever. I'm getting too fixated on the streaming aspects. That's
Yeah.
literally just there as a Patreon perk.
So. Remember, people are just gonna listen to our voices. Oh my god, we need to. I haven't been recording on Audacity this whole time,
Yeah.
so that audio has
I haven't
explicitly is exclusive from the Twitch stream. So I'm gonna start recording in 3, 2, 1. Am I recording? Yeah. You know how Rick burps all the time? I cough all the time. That's my thing. You know what I'm saying?
Well, when you smoke weed.
Yeah. When you smoke
Or
anything.
anything, really.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right.
So, yeah, we probably want to do just a few seconds of
Yeah.
room silence
Right,
for
okay.
processing purposes. I've got so much background noise coming from you.
Really?
Yeah.
That I can't control my neighbors, bro. There's
No,
nothing
it's
happening.
literally just your room noise.
Yeah.
And
Maybe it's a ghost. I always say it's a ghost. Guess
I
what?
think it's because we tried to be quiet and the room filtering stopped
Yeah.
doing anything.
Yeah. So it brought all the silence up.
Yeah. Oh well.
I mean, yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. What was I gonna say? God damn it, I forgot. Completely. Oh, I remember. There's somebody else watching because we have 3 viewers, unless you have 2 devices on.
Yeah, I was gonna say there must be because you said 2 earlier, and I definitely was not.
Okay, well,
Unless it's counting from when I clicked earlier, but it,
no, there's somebody else here. Hi.
hello.
Okay, so just pretend they're not there. I'm gonna do the claqueta. Are we good? Claqueta?
Yep.
Ready? Okay. 1, 2, 3. Season Wubba Lubba PodPod. Season 1, episode 1. Second. I'll do another one. Okay. Alright.
Hey.
Hi.
Welcome to Wubba Lubba PodPod.
Yes. Welcome.
I'm Josh.
I'm Alex.
And today on Wubba Lubba PodPod, we're going to review the pilot episode, the official pilot episode, not the original, very, very dirty episode of Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
But technically, it is episode 1, the pilot, and this is also our very first episode of Wubba Lubba PodPod.
Yay!
Thanks for dropping in. Just to give you an idea how things are going to go here. Well, first of all, I'm going to get this bottle of wine open. Excuse me.
Oh, shit!
I've been waiting.
This is a surprise!
I bought a nice bottle of me. I got the Josh Reserve.
Oh my god.
Oh, yes. It's delicious, if I do say so myself.
Guys, Josh is delicious. I haven't tried. I haven't tried it, but I heard.
Yeah, we're in different states. So.
I heard in another podcast that he was delicious.
My co-host will definitely attest to that.
Right.
Not very willingly. In fact, he would he would be appalled at the very idea of tasting me, but it would be funny, and that's what's important here.
Yeah.
So yeah, welcome to Wubba Lubba PodPod. So
yes,
what you can expect from an episode of Wubba Lubba PodPod is we're going to do a scene-by-scene recap, and we're always going to have some analysis from the ultra-diverse perspectives of everybody's favorite. Cut that out. I'm not going to use that. I wrote that a while ago.
okay.
Yeah, we're always going to have a scene-by-scene recap. We're going to do some analysis. And then we're always going to try and keep track of characters, where they are, where they've been, canonically. And we're going to use as many references as we can from future episodes and past episodes and fan theories, developer interviews, or creator interviews. I guess there's not really developers per se. It's a TV show, not a video game.
Get your head out of the video game.
Yeah. Character and lore tracking, fan theories, all that good shit.
Yes.
And just real quick,
Yeah.
don't forget to review us on iTunes.
Oh my god, that would be amazing.
That would be amazing. Are we? Do we have a specific? No, it would just be Wubba Lubba PodPod on iTunes. If you want to donate to us, you can go to patreon.com/Wubba Lubba PodPod. We have a fun little tier system. We've got the $1 Morty tier, where you can get exclusive video of the podcast and a live stream reminder when we go live. The $5 Rick's tier gives you exclusive video, a live stream reminder, and 15% off the merch store. And the $10 Rick's tier gives you exclusive video, live stream reminder, 20% off merch, and exclusive downloadable content. Oh yeah, baby.
What else do you need in life?
Which will consist of some stuff that Alex has drawn, I believe. You're going to do art or something?
I will do all of the art. I will do it.
So all that crazy podcast stuff, we're doing it and more. We're doing live streams. There's going to be videos for you to watch later if you like seeing our pretty faces. And you can just listen to us while you're driving down the highway.
Yeah.
Hope I don't
Safely.
make you laugh too hard.
Don't. Don't manifest it.
You can check us out on our website, www.wubbalubbapodpod.com. Our merch store, since our sister podcast is Beer with Buffy, you may have heard of it.
Yay!
Just go to www.beerwithbuffy.com/shop, or you'll find a link to it on wubbalubbapodpod.com. Check out our Instagram at wubbalubbapodpod, Twitter at wubbapod, or wubbapodpod, TikTok at wubbalubbapodpod, Twitch, which is wubbalubbapodpod on Twitch, Podbean.
Wubba-lubba-papa! 100 years!
Google Wubba Lubba Pod.
www.wubbalubba-papa.com. 100 years! Wubba-lubba-papa! Forever and ever! 100 years! Forever!
Oh, Rick, no. Yeah.
So you get it.
We're gonna do it, Morty. It's never gonna go away. We're always gonna be here together.
Forever! You and me, together.
Oh my god.
So, we're not there yet. That's actually the ending.
So that's that. That's all of our.
Thank
our
you so much.
Yeah, if you're still here, congratulations. You get to hear a bunch of shit about Rick and Morty now. So let's start at the top of the episode.
Right.
Um,
The scene starts with, and I have questions. Yeah, I want to start it. Okay.
yeah, go ahead. I have like an entire book worth of notes
Great.
here, and it's going to take me a minute to get through, and you're just
Love
going to have to
it.
learn how to interrupt me. It'll be okay.
Great. So Rick is wasted. This is like our first
What? That never happens.
introduction to the characters. Technically, if you're starting with the first episode, right? And Rick is wasted, barging into Morty's room in the middle of the fucking night, just being noisy, loud as fuck, and just literally dragging his grandson. And just like he's just mumbling about like we gotta do something. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Imagine if that ever happened to you.
Yeah.
If any family
Just
member
do
barged
not
in your
wake
room,
me
dragged
up.
you out of bed.
Don't wake me up.
Seriously. If you love somebody, let them sleep.
Yes.
I've ended relationships over that before.
It's that serious. So.
It is.
And this is the first time actually we learned pretty quickly. The first time that Rick builds a bomb while wasted. He drinks. He blacks out, as we know. This is a pattern, and then he builds neutrino bombs for fun. This is Rick.
Yeah, so flash forward to, I can't think of the name of the episode off the top of my head, but isn't it the one where there's like superheroes or something?
Yeah,
We find out that this
Vindicators.
is time,
Yeah.
and Morty has to like talk him down.
He's like,
defuse the bomb.
and Rick is like, Morty, how many times? Too many, Rick.
Too many. Exactly.
Love it. So this is, first time that we see that this happens, right? This is also apparently the first time that Morty is standing up to Rick, right? He's like, I want to take control of the situation, buddy. He's like, no, I'm not going to do this. He says this is the last straw, and I laugh because I'm like, oh, Morty. This is the last straw that you're...
So many straws in front of you.
Last
Morty,
straws
and
that you're gonna be like, this is
so far.
so many episodes that Morty's like, this is fucking it, Rick. This is it, bro. And I'm like,
Yeah.
no, it's not.
Well, and the other thing that's really going to fuck up and make a challenge out of tracking things canonically, like
Oh
where
my
characters
God.
are, what
Yeah.
has and has not happened yet. Because it feels like this is the first time, like this marks the first occasion of Morty seeing Rick's space car. And
Correct. He says, do you like the space car? I just built it. He just
Yeah.
built the space car.
and like their first adventure of going through a portal and him
Right.
building a neutrino bomb. All kinds of different firsts in this episode.
Yeah.
But once we get to Morty's mind blowers,
Right?
all that shit goes out the window. This could be the billionth, or not the billionth, but this
Yeah.
could have been after dozens of other adventures.
Correct.
I'm wondering if there's so just planting that seed now. I want to figure out by the time we're done with this podcast if there are seeds of information that can lead us to know whether or not this is actually well over the dozens, or just in any way not the actual first time that something like this has happened.
Correct.
But memories could have just gotten wiped by Rick.
Yeah, like everything is possible. I'm thinking of like attempting to catalog all of this information into like a Google Sheets, like an Excel sheet or something.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try my best. I'll let you know how it goes next episode.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely.
See if I can find like a system to track all of these motherfuckers.
There's got to be people that are already trying to do that on forums
Yeah.
or wikis, something that might be able to assist you with that, because it's a deep dive. It's a serious deep dive, and also on a show that a lot of people are taking very seriously, even though the show clearly does not want to be taken seriously.
Right.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
How it's like good enough to be taken seriously, even though they're like, no, fucking stop.
Stop it.
Don't.
You're dumb.
There's no. There is no canon.
There
but
is no
there
different meaning. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways, back to the little first scene. My notes are here like, was it a test? Because Rick says like, oh, this is just a test to see if you passed it. And then Morty's like, really? It's just a test? And he's like, sure, why not?
Sure, why not? No, he 100% made that up. That was not his plan. Did he have a plan? No, he was just fucking drunk and blasted.
He just blacks out, right?
And
then we start hearing the fucking neutrino pump go off. And then the scene cuts to credits. So my question is, did they die? Is this just like, are these the other Rick and Morty's, not 1C37?
Oh my god, that's an amazing fan theory already right out of the gate that I didn't even think about. We need to look that up now. Take a note. I'm taking a note right now.
I mean,
is the intro to the pilot episode
not really like
the intro?
Not our Rick and Morty, yeah.
Damn, I gotta fix my R key. I have this really weird, I'm just missing an R key from my fucking computer, so.
Somebody sent Josh an R key, for the love of God.
I bought one and it didn't work, so now I have to use a hotkey to make my 4 function as the R key.
Oh, okay.
Intro to the pilot, actually, C-137 Rick. And we know it's not C-137 Morty.
Right.
Because we just learned that in the season 1 episode, season 6 episode 1 that just dropped.
Yes.
So that's another thing if you're coming in on this podcast right now.
Season 6 just dropped.
Yeah, and we know we're a little late coming in. There's other established Rick and Morty podcasts out there, but we're going to try and play catch up and have a good time anyway.
We're here to have fun, okay? No pressure.
Yeah. Shut up and sit down and have fucking fun.
Alright.
Do it.
Do it now.
You fucking jerks. Okay? Get your shit together.
Alright. Just get it together.
Take it to the shit store.
And get it together.
Yeah. Spoiler alert, there will be lots of spoilers. We're not going to avoid them in any way.
Spoiler-full podcast.
We assume that anybody listening to a Rick and Morty podcast has binged the entire series multiple times.
That means you must be a hardcore fan, man. Don't tell me you're a Rick and Morty fan, and then I tell you Wubba Lubba PodPod, and you're like, huh? Bitch, you're not a fan. Wubba Lubba PodPod is very easy, recognizable Rick and Morty thing.
Yeah, no, I read the URL on a bathroom stall. That's how I found it. That's how I found Wubba Lubba PodPod.
Yes.
Yeah, I said it. Did I say it right? I think I said it right.
Wubba Lubba PodPod. Anyways.
Play it back for me. No, don't do that.
Oh, God.
So yeah, this intro. There's just something magical about Rick and Morty. It's something that the beginning of the series never fails to capture for me without exception every time I watch it. It's like I can see into the minds of the creators, not only some sarcastic assholes that made a dirty cartoon about a kid licking an old man's balls. I mean, yes, that too.
Yeah.
But I also see the highly intelligent and likely misunderstood men who take huge risks to be edgy with their comedy, who also happen to enjoy Back to the Future. They also might, just maybe, have some mommy and daddy issues that they need to work through.
Yeah.
Interesting fact. I learned when I was researching for the first episode here that Dan Harmon, while trying to I wanted to find out how Dan Harmon was involved with Back to the Future, because I could have sworn I saw this documentary about Back to the Future and they interviewed him because Rick and Morty is so almost not synonymous but intertwined with Back to the Future now.
Yeah.
Well, what I learned while trying to figure that out was that he's actually on the autistic spectrum, particularly the part of it that used to be called Asperger's syndrome. But that's no longer the PC term for it. So I originally thought that Dan Harmon and Justin Roiland were actually just disgruntled former writers or crew members of some kind for Back to the Future, and I thought maybe they had a bad time with their time on set, but I can't find anything about them being involved with Back to the Future in any way.
Right.
So the original pilot, it's Morty, you gotta lick my balls. It's the only way, Morty.
Yeah.
It was only a protest intended to provoke whatever studio owned the rights to the Cosby Show, because he was making a parody cartoon that was infringing copyright called House of the Cosbys.
Okay.
And my best guess is that the producers also owned Back to the Future, which turns out to be Universal Studios, because why else would they want to piss off the owners of Back to the Future by deliberately, vulgarly offending their content?
Yep.
So, anyway.
Wow.
Definitely a spiteful, cynical origin story for a show, because they're not even original creators of Back to the Future, so they have no respect for it in that regard.
Yeah.
So and just in this first episode, I'm going to be setting a baseline for how I view the show in general. Because there's a lot of extremely cynical views of family values, and something about it resonates deeply within me.
Yeah.
I'm not just like, oh, you're having cynical family values here. No, it's one of the things I fucking love about Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
So they're flying around in Rick's space car now. Every little thing about this scene stacks up one by one and just fucks adventure sci-fi stereotypes right in the ass the whole way.
Yeah.
The entire genre. It flips it upside down and makes it bite the pillow. Because the bomb,
Yeah.
aforementioned, and Rick's only reasoning is we have to start over, Morty.
Oh yeah, I am an Eve and Jessica.
Why do you have to fucking start over, Rick? Jesus Christ, just you and your grandson.
Yeah.
Not exactly a viable source of a new population. But we don't know that other universes exist yet, so whatever.
Yeah.
And then he's offering to pick up Morty's girlfriend, which it's not actually his girlfriend. It's just a crush.
He has,
horny.
yeah.
He's just horny for this girl.
So horny.
No relationship.
No.
And then when he's like, oh, this is just for you. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't mess around with her. I'm not that kind of guy. And he's drinking heavily the whole time.
Yeah.
Belching constantly.
Yeah.
He's ludicrously incoherent.
Yeah.
And then there's just this moment of silence. The clunking sound effects of his homemade space car. And all of these things, I'm just listing off things that are stacking up that I just wasn't expecting. The first time and every time that I watch this first episode, it gets me every fucking time. The way Rick lies that it was all a test to make Morty more assertive.
Yeah.
Very obviously a lie. The amount of beer bottles that fall out of the door when Rick lands and passes out. The bombs, and then the bomb is like an arming neutrino bomb. And Morty's, we see that look of realization on Morty's face. Like, oh fuck! Now I have to deal with this bomb. And now,
Yeah.
and how the bomb is disarmed is never discussed later. They cut right to the family bickering around the dining table.
Exactly. That's why I'm like, I don't know if they disarmed the bomb, bro. I don't think so.
And the problem is that Morty's been up all night. Nothing about the events of the actual night come up. No bomb, no Rick dragging Morty out of bed or being horribly drunk. But
wait, Josh, pause.
Yeah.
Cause I want to try something. Cause you know how like on Skype I have you. But how do I do this? No. Can't do that. Can I do this? Choose screen to share. No, I don't want to share screen. Okay. Never mind. I can't do what I thought. I thought, okay, so because in the little, oh my god, what did I do? Oh no, you disappeared. Hold on 1 second.
Did you break it? You broke it.
Stop. Hello, ma'am. There you are. Calma. There you are. There you are. Shh, no pasa nada.
I'll take your word for it. I don't
Yeah.
see me on the stream yet, but it's okay.
No,
I've just got my
you'll be
phone
back.
running with the stream next to me.
You'll be back, probably. Just to explain super quick, you know how in Skype you have like the big window and then there's like a small window that appears when you're like doing other stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, that small window is like more in sync with your audio. So I was trying to like see if I could broadcast that window
Oh, I
on the
see.
stream. You know what I'm saying? So that it's more in sync and not as
Yeah.
choppy. But I don't think I can do that because that
That's
window
okay.
only pops out from Skype when I'm like not in Skype and it's like
Yeah. We'll have to troubleshoot that later. For now,
Yeah.
sorry everybody that's
I
watching
just-
the
yeah.
live stream. I'm choppy as fuck, and it's not because I have a bad connection. It's not
I'm
because
like-
Alex has a bad connection. It's just a weird setup or streaming issue. But Alex is hosting, and I'm several states away, so that might have something to do with it.
yeah, just give us a break. Technology, okay? We're merely millennials. You're a millennial, right? Are you?
I am a millennial.
Hey, me too. Okay, great.
I'm an elder millennial.
Ah.
I'm right on the cusp. So I'm a zennial, really.
Millennial.
An
Got it.
zenny.
Oh Lord.
Right, so yeah,
please
the comedic
continue.
effects derived from all of these things stacking up, in my opinion, is just mostly derived from this constant, subtle onslaught of subverting our expectations.
Yes.
It's something different, you know. It's honest.
Yeah.
It's a parody and a pastiche of something familiar, and all that combined is what makes this opening the golden hook that kicks off the most amazing epic comedy adventure of
Yes.
our time. And I just a quick tracking note. I think it's important to note that this marks their. We already kind of discussed that this is their first adventure, or is it? So just tracking.
Yeah.
We're gonna try and answer that question eventually. There's gonna be a lot of pending questions. I
Yes.
think we need to start making a list of pending questions versus answered questions. For instance, we very recently had the question answered in the end of towards somewhere in season 5. Is Beth a clone or not? So
Right.
let that one hang. And that one was bugging me. That was really bugging me. That was like giving me an existential crisis.
Me too, bro.
Multiple things in this show really hit me hard, and I'm like, don't fuck with my brain like that. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Anyway, the opening sequence. We both had the same idea. I
Right.
think at the end of the season we should
Just
do
to let you know, we're doing
a special episode about the opening sequence. We're not going to talk about it now, but we should sit down and track every single thing that actually happened in the season versus what's in the opening sequence that didn't happen throughout the season.
Correct.
There's a lot of little Easter eggs in there.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we cut to the Smith house.
Please. And I want to just note a little bit, like, I don't know if this is like all of the episodes or if it's just a lot of them that start with all of them in the, like, eating in the dining table.
There are a lot of them. They even made a reference to that in season 6 already, because there was a scene. Because we find out that Jerry and Rick and Morty are dimensional travelers. They're not in their own dimension. And we cut back to Jerry's original dimension, which is different than both Rick and Morty's. None of them are their original counterparts. And I forget if it was Rick or Jerry that's like, wow, this has some serious season 2 vibes while they're all arguing at the table.
Yes.
I'm really excited for season 2. That was.
Right? Yeah.
'Cause I haven't binged it in a while. I'm definitely going to be binging it very soon to get all back up to speed.
Yes.
So, but yeah, we hit the ground running in the Smith house with strong impressions of the family. Jerry's playing the balloon. He's playing that fucking app on the goddamn tablet, the balloon popping game. It's literally a baby's game.
Because Jerry is a baby.
He's kind of a baby, and
He admits it in this last episode. He says, "I'm a baby." Anyways.
Okay, I thought he said I'm not a baby because
No,
right
he
after
said I am a
thought I
baby.
heard I'm a baby, but then after he says that, he proves that he's not a baby.
No, because he says that babies don't take responsibility for other people's pain. So he is a baby because he's not gonna take responsibility.
Because he's not taking responsibility. Okay.
And not gonna kill himself if Ben is cheating on him with Ben. Anyways, spoilers.
Interesting. Okay, and that was a great Jerry episode. But yeah, we don't want to get too deep into
Yeah.
that. We'll get there eventually.
Back to episode 1. Okay.
Yeah. So he's playing this game on the tablet. His choice of conversation topic is, so who's going to win the singing reality TV show competition? And I can't think of better ways to impress upon us from the very beginning that Jerry is a
loser.
just a fucking dipshit.
I hate him so much. Like, I rarely hate anything.
It's
hate
difficult
him.
because I love the voice actor. Do you know who the voice actor is?
I
Yeah.
love him, yes.
But he was on 30 Rock, which is where
Yeah.
I know him from. He's hilarious. He's one of the most funny people on the planet. I remember a rumor that he was trying to quit Rick and Morty after it got really big after season 2 because he didn't want to be stereotyped into being the dumb character.
Oh, no.
But then
I'm
sure the money pulled him back in. They're like, no, this is too
Yeah.
big for you to quit. You don't get
no.
to quit. So Rick argues about being blamed for keeping Morty out of school, shamelessly as per usual. Blaming school for being a shitty place. It's not good for smart people. He uses truths to justify his selfishness at abusing Morty's well-being. In this case, his sleep schedule, or if nothing else, it's a boundary issue because Morty clearly didn't want to wake up and go with him.
No.
Rick, everything he does is nothing but red flags right from the get-go, right from the start of this. He gets up without finishing his last piece of sausage and one whole egg, and then tells Beth, "You really made the crap out of those eggs, Beth."
So manipulative, bro.
And I'm like, yeah,
Jerry is like, bro, for real?
yeah, he's playing her. He's so playing her. And if you look at his plate, he didn't finish his eggs.
No, I didn't see that. Oh my god, Drake.
He leaves an egg on his plate.
I would finish it. I love eggs. Are we doing quotes of the day, or is that an it?
We can. That's fine. I don't feel the need to completely rehash that whole bit. If there's a good quote, sure, go for it. I don't think we need to pick one at the end of the episode, though.
Yeah, we don't have to make it, but if there is, we can just highlight it.
So yeah, what's your which quote of the day are you picking out?
Well, I have many, so I'm just picking this one. I'm just I like when he said, "You realize nighttime makes up half of all time, right?" And this is the type of shit that Rick's just let's sleep in conversation or in argument that blows my mind. I'm like, oh, you hear it first and you're like, okay, and then you're you think about it and you're like, half of my life.
That's fucking true. Oh my god.
Laying in bed,
yeah,
just dreaming and being in other worlds.
Yeah.
Well, I love it. I don't know. I love that about
I remember being 10 years old and having the thought, I wonder if colors are different for other people than they are for me.
Yes,
and then come to find out throughout my life, everybody has that thought at some point in time.
yeah.
Except most people have that thought while they're high.
Yeah, valid.
And come to find out, science actually supports. I have no documentation of this, but I've heard.
Yeah.
Somebody told me once, and I believed them, that it is likely that colors are very different for different people.
I mean, there's colorblind people, so I can easily believe that it's a spectrum, you know.
Yeah.
You might not be super colorblind, but different shades and hues are perceived differently.
Right, yeah, because obviously the spectrum of light is going to be the same across the board.
Yeah.
But the way that our bodies interpret them could easily be very different.
Either the eyes or the brain, you know?
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of shit going on.
Guys, we're smart!
Seriously, we're so
we're
smart.
talking science.
Don't fucking even talk to me about how fucking smart we are right now, you guys. Like cones and rods. We're talking about science stuff. So
Yeah.
shut up.
So that's like another quote of the day. It's like a big one, but I just like the part where it's like how I feel about school. Like it's not a place for smart people.
That's like one of my favorite all-time quotes of his. I use that constantly
Yeah.
because they're really not.
Yeah. And he's like,
They're-
there's people saying 2 + 2, and then the people in the back say 4, and then cut to like that
They
happening.
give you a piece of paper that says you can take a dump or something.
It's
Yeah.
not for smart people.
So yeah, Summer. Summer immediately does nothing but comment about how Morty's face is in his food, and then like tattles on him for being out all night with Rick, which is a little bit predatory and
Yeah.
instigative, a little bit insecure and kind of manipulative. I can't tell if she's jealous or just bored.
She's bored. She's in that, as a teenage girl,
Yeah.
this is the epitome of like, fuck the world, teenage girl attitude phase that we all go through. That like, I hate everything, nothing's like, everything sucks, la la la, you know, it's like this. And then you put up this front of like being the coolest thing in the world. I get it.
Good to know. Good insight.
Yeah.
But yeah, so either way, at first we see that the world is really revolving around Rick and Morty. Everybody's actions are completely revolving around Rick and Morty. Summer's words and attitudes here are all directly relative to what Morty is doing or has done previously, just in the opener. And this changes later as Summer comes into her own, but all characters here are focused on either Rick or Morty in this scene. And in one quick exchange, we establish several important character relationships that become important
Correct.
plot
Yeah.
points throughout. Because Rick interacting with Jerry, you see a lot of patterns there. He's always blowing smoke up Jerry's ass to butter him up before he's about to contradict him and walk all over him.
Yeah.
Well, you're really the man of the house here, Jerry. I can't compete with that.
Yeah.
And then Beth is always undermining Jerry, any attempt he has at having authority and being assertive. And also, the first thing Beth says to Morty is an accusation that he's practicing kissing a pillow that the dog sleeps on.
Right.
So this, I think, speaks volumes to how she expects her male child to think about and respect and value and sexualize women. And did you notice in the opening scene he's got this super sexualized poster of a woman on his bedroom wall?
Yes, correct.
I mean, I had sexy calendars growing up.
Yes.
But it all just seems like really inappropriate to give to kids nowadays. It's like, here, this is how you're supposed to think of women.
I mean, how old is Morty? 14? 13?
Yeah, he's 14.
14.
Like, okay, obviously,
That's kind of the cusp.
sex-positive, birds and bees, openness is important during formative years, but this seems like a very toxic way of...
Right, it's very like toxic sexualization of women.
Exactly. And which is obviously probably the main cause of Morty growing up to be an awkward, nerdy geek who has
Yeah.
crushes on girls whom he has no idea how to actually interact with.
Yeah.
Even though he has a sister, but they clearly don't have a great relationship, not in this scene anyway.
No.
All we see her do next is she just mutters to herself, "Oh my God, my parents are so loud," as they start.
Yeah.
arguing.
Yeah.
And then Rick goes on this rant about how shitty school is, and then at the end of the scene, he manipulates Beth. You really cooked the crap out of those eggs. Leaves an egg behind. And Jerry sees this. He's powerless to convince Beth of how shitty Rick is and how selfish his intentions are.
Yeah.
As we all know from future episodes, Beth has serious daddy abandonment issues.
Yes.
Not only using her house for cover, Not
Right.
because he wants to spend time with Beth or with his grandkids. Certainly not with Jerry.
Yeah.
So, sorry, I know I'm going on a long tirade here, but it's all kind of important stuff that's really crammed into a short period of time.
Yeah, it's like
Episode.
it's just like a very juicy, full exposition of who these characters are and their relationship to each other.
Yeah, it's very distilled. It's all kinds of subtle shit baked into
Yes.
such a short scene, setting the stage for lots of character development, but also for a relatively simple equation on how to generate a variety of types of conflict indefinitely, which makes for infinite opportunities to make Rick come out on top by virtue of being the smartest and loudest asshole in the room.
Yeah.
Which for some reason is funny. And that's the bottom fucking line. E equals MC squared, Rick is a funny asshole.
Yeah.
The way all of that shit conglomerates and just squeezes out this tiny drip of dark matter of Rick is fucking hilarious. And the whole show is fucking hilarious because of all this fucked up shit. And it's why I love the show.
Yes. Do you want to cut to the next scene?
In a moment, almost done.
Oh, there's
So,
more.
I may have already mentioned this. I'm definitely going to want to stop and question a lot throughout the entire series.
Okay, cool.
This conundrum of why is this all so entertaining? I mean, I feel like I kind of just answered that question, so I'm outdoing myself. Did I just hear like a cooing sound? Is that your cat?
Yes, she is in heat.
Then
So
Oh
she's making the mating call. Yeah. And I'm like, chinga. And then Kylo. Look at this guy. Hello.
Okay, cool. Kitty cats.
Yep. Anyways.
So yeah, So it's still worth revisiting throughout the show. Why is it so entertaining? Because
Yeah.
it's similar to like why everybody loved Seinfeld. They're all fucking terrible people.
Yeah.
But in this case, look at Rick. He's super powerful. Do we all just yearn to have that kind of power, to not care to a fault, and be able to just slip and slide casually around all the obstacles that are ever thrown at us? The way he's like, we spend half of our lives sleeping. Do we want to be Rick? Do you want to be Rick?
Or do you want to fuck Rick?
Right. Like why?
Because I know my answer.
He's clearly a terrible, tortured person.
Yeah.
But why do we value all of these things that he does, all these traits that he has? Do we want to be his best friend?
Because he's confident, man. He's like the most
Right.
confident man in the world. That's
Yeah.
what it is.
Or would we rather, would you want to be in Morty's shoes? Fucking hell no, that sounds
No.
like a personal living hell.
Yeah.
Why do we all identify and empathize so hard with Rick? And he just stomps over everybody and destroys everybody the closest to him constantly.
Maybe he resonates with the evil part of humanity. We have a little bit of like the dark side in us.
Absolutely.
Maybe
Yeah,
we relate with that.
But yeah, I'm so jealous of how he can just build anything from anything anytime that he wants to. He's super resourceful. I think we all just have a hard-on for how powerful he is.
Yes.
I'm a fucking god, basically. It's really, it's fun. It's fun. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm sorry. Let's move on.
Oh my god, we are in math class. And guess
Math
what?
class.
2 + 2 is 4, motherfucker. And then
I'm so disappointed that he doesn't give anybody a piece of paper that says they can take a dump.
right? I know. He should have done he should have started by doing that.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And it's exactly as condescending as Rick said it was only moments ago.
Right.
And it's just so spiteful and such a biting statement by the writers.
And I just want to say that he says 2 + 2 is 4, 5 + 5 is 10, And then he's like, time for the quiz. What?
Yeah.
What kind of class is this?
And also, they're in fucking high school. He's 14.
Right?
This is like first or second grade math.
Yeah.
It's basic arithmetic.
So dumb. Yeah. And then Morty starts as just like dreaming, fantasizing, right?
Yeah,
he
every
falls
time
asleep,
everybody
I
else
guess.
answers a question, he's just saying, Jessica, Tenica, Fivica, Forica, whatever. I don't know, various forms of Jessica. So,
oh my God.
and then
the fantasy.
Morty,
The fantasy?
Yeah, he launches into this American Beauty reference fantasy scene with Jessica. Did you recognize that reference?
I did not.
Okay. American Beauty was a huge hit.
I've seen it once, but I don't remember like the reference.
Okay, I was pretty obsessed with it. I was at a relatively formative age when it came out, and it was starring Kevin Spacey. I was so devastated to find out that Kevin Spacey was a huge fucking creep.
Yeah.
A scary weirdo. Because I loved a lot of movies that he did, and this was one of the main ones. There's this scene, because it's basically the middle-aged dad who's got a cushy office job, gets fired, and pisses off his wife because he's unemployed all of a sudden, and then goes on a... Getting a lot of noise in your background all of a sudden.
Oh no. It's like my cats.
No, I think it's because it's the same thing as before. It's your noise cancellation.
I mean, you can hear my cats purring, but
Yeah.
at least not in the stream. I just checked it, and it's
Okay.
just like kind of like white noise.
Yeah. But anyway, I guess I don't really need to run down the whole plot of American Beauty, but suffice to say, he ends up having a very pervy crush on his daughter's best friend, who is like 14 or 15 years old.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be... and then later he gets a chance to sleep with her, but then he realizes it's wrong, and he doesn't.
Okay.
But he still takes it way too far.
Yeah, I sort of remember like a scene. Anyways.
Yeah. But anyway, this scene is specifically when he's at her cheerleader meet and he's fantasizing about her like taking her shirt off, and there's all the math numbers in American Beauty. Those are flower petals.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's ripped off straight from American Beauty.
Oh, that's cool. Right.
And Jessica here is only slightly more explicit than the girl was with Kevin Spacey. She's, in this case, infinitely more age appropriate for Morty.
Boy, yeah.
And then
she's like,
just get in there. No wrong answers. Just really knock them around.
I don't know what I call them. My little Mortys.
You know what I want you to do, Morty? Rename
them.
Perfect.
Love it.
God. It's perfect moment after perfect moment. I've never seen a more nailed pilot episode in my life.
I know.
And then we cut back to him in math class where he's grabbing... do you know the teacher's name? I didn't know his name.
I don't remember. But
we'll find out in an episode or two with Scary Terry.
Okay. Yeah.
So 5 more minutes of this and I'm going to get mad.
It's not my fault this is happening. Sir, you gotta stop it.
That's you can totally still get sued for that, for letting a child basically molest you.
Yeah. My God. And then cut to
a hallway
where Rick freezes a bully.
So Frank.
Fucking Frank, bro.
Frank.
It's just
Frank
like a stereotypical bully. Like, bullying him for no reason.
This high school this old high school bully stereotype
Yeah.
is kind of genius the way they pull it off here. So we've got this taste of some recycled old shit that we've all seen before. I love the way that they write these lines allegorically, because they're basically just written. They're barely even written for the scene. They're just a formula. It's all formulaic nonsense, which is what makes it so funny. He's like, "Are you telling me how to bully now? Are you calling me poor? Cut you now, because my family's rich." I thought you had it pretty well handled without the knife. And then Rick freezes him, and it's all a perfect antithesis to the tired old shit from all these other like high school drama things, or like all the way back to Grease, probably even earlier than Grease.
Right.
And then Rick drunkenly pulls Morty out of school. Not entirely dissimilar to when Doc Brown shows up and tells Marty he needs his help.
Oh yeah.
And then the principal is the one who's bullying Marty. Also.
Oh yeah. Correct.
But anyway, so Morty reluctantly agrees to skip history after being browbeaten about how much more important other things are and how high the stakes are, blah, blah, blah. Rick
and
being
then
manipulative.
Summer approaches Frank.
We'll get there.
I
still want to cover a little more about Frank.
Okay, Frank, yes.
The irony here should be noted that... I'm still on Rick and Morty a little bit. So he's being told by this wild-eyed, drunken, bile-spitting old kook. And there's this constant undertone of disdain and contempt for both the establishment system and all the opposing voices against the establishment. It's like the writers feel fucked one way or another, so nothing left to do but take nothing seriously. And again, that resonates very heavily with me. So,
yeah.
That's just the whole tone of the scene that I get. We got this patriarchal figure that is Rick. And yeah, I just think it's really ironic.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I'm so smart. We're so smart.
So smart.
We're so
yeah.
smart. Anyway, Summer, take it away.
My God, this girl is like, oh my God, I'm gonna walk across Frank, blah blah, whatever his name was. This is the story we're gonna tell our grandchildren. And then she's like, how can she not tell that he's frozen, first of all? But she's like, hi Frank. And then he just fucking like tumbles and shatters. There's this scream. She's like, ah! Like everyone's like, my God, just like horror, like traumatized. What? And then that's when they cut to this next scene.
Yeah, I thought it was important, this part as well, how they wrap up the shit with Frank. So
yeah,
because
like, we are done with this bully trope.
Exactly, because we established that she's got a thing for bad boys, an old trope that's really out of character for her. I mean, we've only known her as a character. I mean, I can only say that in knowing her as a character throughout the whole series.
Right.
But from the perspective of somebody just watching the episode, I guess, okay, we're establishing that she likes bad boys. But we're also establishing that the writers make good and fucking sure that we know how they feel about this shitty greaser bully trope.
Yeah.
Every time I watch this episode, I half expect him to be unfrozen before he gets shattered, and then he's just a regularly occurring character forever and ever on the show, and Morty has to deal with him.
Yeah, no.
But they're like, no, fuck all that shit. That's annoying, old, overused hogwash.
Yeah.
So instead, they just fucking murder him right out of the gate. I fucking love it.
Me too. Good job. Shatter your bullies, bitch.
Goddamn right. Go travel interdimensionally.
And then cut to the next scene where fucking Jerry is bothering Beth while she's in the middle of heart surgery.
Fucking heart surgery. But it's just horse heart surgery.
Mother Fucker. Do you know that he said my manager let me have a 1 hour lunch? What does he do for work, bitch? You have a manager and you're coming in
what is his job? I don't think he has a job.
I don't think he has
here.
a job, bro.
Does he? Isn't he in advertising or something?
No, that was that one time with the Apple thing. It was a simulation.
Okay.
Like, got apples. Hungry for apples.
Right.
That's another thing. But no, I don't think Jerry has a job. He's like unemployed. That's why Beth divorces him. And he's like, then he gets with that like weird alien with the 3 boobs. He's a loser.
But later in the scene with the dumbest Rick from the...
Right.
Jerry becomes friends with him. He tells him that he's in advertising and expects to be ridiculed by Rick for it. But instead he's like, oh, that's really cool. Because some people don't know what to buy, and you help them make that decision.
Oh, yeah, he does tell
He's like,
him
oh, you get it.
Oh.
So I think he is canonically in advertising in some capacity on a regular basis, but they really don't go into it.
Yeah, no, not really.
Jerry is such a background character when you think about
Yeah.
it. Or at least his, like, what he does.
At the beginning, at least.
When he's not interacting with the family, nobody
Right.
gives a shit what he's doing. Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, where are we? Right, surgery. Horse surgery. Wait, dude. Wait. Throughout the whole conversation that she's having with Jerry, and she has, like, her arms inside the fucking horse, and then it flatlines. Beep. And then Tom goes, like, we're losing him. And then she, like, does this, and, okay, we got him back. And then he does it, like, 3 times. And then he's like, we're losing him. And she's like, Tom, we can tell we're losing him. We can hear the fucking bits!
Exactly. Yeah, and that's good multitasking. She's doing that. She's doing heart surgery successfully while arguing with Jerry.
With Jerry.
Like,
And
not just
fucking
any
Tom.
argument. Arguing with this fucking man-child that she's married to for some reason. And so, stupid quote of the day here. When Jerry's like, well, lunch is one of 3 meals that's existed for a millennia. I'm like, oh my fucking god, just wow.
So dumb.
So his perspective here is as if traditional meal times have been a part of human culture since hunter-gatherer times.
Right?
Or like medieval serfs used to casually eat out with their family and coworkers or something.
It's brunch time, guys.
Yeah, he just has zero fucking concept of the scope of history baked into this one ridiculous statement. And it's not even persuasive. It doesn't. It's
just
not
filler.
gonna work on Beth.
Yeah.
Especially not on Beth. I mean, then again, he must be able to effectively manipulate Beth in some way. Like, she married him, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. That's some, like, Beth therapy issues that she needs to go through.
Right. Oh my god, that's one of my favorite episodes, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Yes.
But, so Beth is pissed. Jerry's trying to push putting Rick in a nursing home with a really poorly faked pitch that he comes up with, dropping a pamphlet.
Oh my god, what is that on the floor? Oh.
Yeah. So why don't we put Rick in a nursing home? So Beth freaks out.
Yeah.
Cut to an alleyway where quick tracking note again. This is or is not evidence that this is their first canonical portal adventure, because Morty clearly doesn't know that they're what it is to be in another dimension. He's never been through a portal.
Okay.
But yeah, Morty's mind blowers could change that. I can't wait to find out.
Okay. I have, so on Twitch, just so you know, there's like a way to add markers during the stream for us to later kind of like refer to these times, like, at this time we talked about this, so I'm doing that.
Well, that could be very useful. Mm-hmm. Cool.
So then, we're in Dimension 35C.
That's the one.
Yeah. Perfect climate conditions for the mega tree, which is a dick, right?
Yeah, some kind of tree with some kind of fruit with some kind of seed that Rick needs for his research.
Right. Needed for research. For my research. Probably with my
Morty's
research.
got anxiety about being, I don't feel safe or something. Rick
Yeah.
starts to give him this inspirational mentor type,
The most
almost
heartwarming.
downright fatherly speech.
Yeah.
About facing
Everything's
fears
gonna be okay if you
or
stick
some
with
horse shit. Until,
Yeah.
of course, this giant, toothy, slobbering monster thing starts chasing them.
Holy crap, Morty, run!
And, well, we're gonna die. I've never seen anything like
gonna
that in my
die.
life, Morty.
We're gonna
you gotta run for your
die.
life. It's fucking genius. So, much like the original pilot, we can just feel here how cynical and contemptuous Dan Harmon and Justin Roiland are about the relationship between Rick and Morty. Excuse me, I'm gonna die.
Don't die.
It feels so hopeful and inspirational and wholesome, even. It gives you the sense of paternal security. And then, with sitcom regularity and the precision genius timing of a race car engine, all it just fucks all of that right in the pooper. In increasingly more and more ludicrously despondent ways, with reckless disregard for Morty's well-being.
Period.
Yeah. Got all that? Sometimes my notes sound a little stuffy.
I always understand you when you say them in Bear with Buffy, so I'm sure.
There you go. I also sometimes
yeah.
edit a lot of shit
It's
out.
fine.
But,
Yeah. Right. So my next note here, after that scene where they were running for their lives, because they cut to them just like casually strolling by, and I'm like,
now they're
did
just
they
fine.
die? Did they die?
Is this another
Is
cut?
different pair of Morty and Rick and Morty?
Right.
So this is another marker, bitch.
There you
because-
go, another marker. Because they do the same, they cut it the same way they did at the beginning of the episode.
Yes, it's like a hard cut, and then there's no explanation. They don't talk about it, like if they escaped or not. They don't refer.
They don't talk about it at all. They don't talk about the neutrino bomb from the beginning. My God. This is already blowing my mind.
We already have gone through 3 different versions of Rick and Morty.
Yeah, this is Josh's mind blowers.
Yeah.
Mind blowers.
Didn't.
We may be states apart, but you're blowing my mind.
BB. So then we have the classic Rick opening Morty's eyeballs situation.
Oh, yeah.
It's a very used image of Rick and Morty.
They're
Tattoos.
not afraid to be cartoony when they need to be.
Yeah. And they finally find the mega trees?
Yeah.
Am I missing something?
Well, they're just moving along now from the monster.
Is this when he's like Morty wants to go back to school and he's like, look, why do you want to go back? Like, look, what the fuck is that? Like, you're not going to see that in school. And then it's like this bleebly blobbly thing.
Oh, yeah.
That rolls weird that you don't expect him to move that way.
And the random shit they come up with, like, I couldn't in a million years. It's good
How
for
do
them.
you draw
The
that?
artist, the visual artists that they hired are geniuses just as much as the writers here.
Good weed.
I mean, I think Dan
Good
Harmon
stuff.
more so than Justin Roiland, but you can't have Rick and Morty without both of them.
Mm-hmm.
But granted, have you seen the one that Justin Roiland did, the new show with the aliens?
Opposites something? Solar opposites?
Solar Opposites, yeah. I think that show
I
is
haven't.
fucking terrible. And it's because Dan
really?
Harmon has nothing to do with it.
I haven't seen it at all.
So, yeah,
You
Justin
know-
Roiland...
Sorry.
What? That's all right. I was just going to say, Justin Roiland, the half of Rick and Morty that he provides is the vulgarity and the violence, and that's about it. And the voices of Rick and Morty themselves.
Right.
Dan Harmon is the one that provides all of the canonical genius and humor that
Nice.
happens in Rick and Morty. And you can tell that. It's very apparent if you just watch Solar Opposites, because Solar Opposites is dry, unfunny, dead, soulless garbage. In
Interesting.
My opinion. Yeah.
Okay. Well, there is another show though, claimed to be by the creators of Rick and Morty. So,
Okay.
but I don't think Justin or Dan, but like some other people, I guess, in the
Yeah,
team.
there's other creators.
Called Little Demon.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch that soonish.
Watch it. I am
Still
loving
just
it.
Still just trying to catch up on this. Like, I need to get music together for us.
Oh yeah. Right.
Caught up with moving,
Yeah.
and job stuff is crazy right now. But I'm gonna get around to TV shows when my life settles down a little bit again someday.
Yeah. All I'm gonna say is I'm loving it so far, and I do feel like the kind of sameness with Rick and Morty. It's very gory. Oh my god. That's all I'm gonna say.
I believe it.
Yeah. Okay, let's come back to the episode. Where are we? They find the mega trees.
They're at the
Rick,
cliff.
Yeah, Rick gives Morty the shoes, the gravity shoes.
What's funny here is Morty is the first one to use the term megatree, even though Rick never told him that that's what they were called. So that actually might be more evidence that this is a different timeline again.
There you go.
Interesting little clue that could have... There's another little interesting clue. He says, "Oh, do you smell that? That's the smell of an entirely, completely different evolutionary timeline."
Right.
So obviously, he's mainly talking about the weird creatures and plant life here, but it could also be a subtle nod from the writers that, by the way, we're switching timelines a lot fucking more often than they're overtly telling us.
Yeah.
Which is really fun to think about.
Nyaka nyaka.
So Rick's like, you ask a lot of questions, Morty. Not very charismatic. Makes you kind of underfoot character.
Yeah.
So this kind of shit that Rick pulls all the time is just this. He's got this reflexive habit of shaming Morty's inquisitive nature, and they get so much. They get a lot of comedic mileage out of this. Like, it's disgusting that he would talk to a kid, let alone his own grandson, that way. But it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Why? I would hate being treated that way. I feel ruined because of being talked down to that way, and yet it's hilarious.
I really think that we are allowed to laugh because it's a cartoon. Like, if this was real life people, actors, live action, I don't know, man.
South Park theory. That's why South Park gets away with so much shit. It's because it's kids.
Yeah. Oh god.
Not because it's a cartoon. It's because they're kids.
Yeah. So Morty walks, right? He puts on the boots, and then he casually steps up the cliff.
Yeah. So he's now like super over trusting of Rick, and he's like, here, you use these, you'll float down like a cloud, it'll be fine. And Morty, like, dutifully listens to Rick now because he's just been shamed for asking too many questions.
Just like fully trusts the boots and like just casually steps off.
He's just been shamed for asking questions, so now he falls practically to his death.
Oh my god, he breaks his legs.
Yeah, any non-cartoon character would be fucking dead.
Oh my god. His legs are broken. He's in pain. He's like, ooh, so uncomfortable. So uncomfortable.
Fucking zigzag shaped.
Yeah.
But before we get to that, we cut back to the vet's office.
We do?
Yeah. We get the rest of the scene with Jerry and Beth arguing. And there's
my god. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
There's this joke about stuffing Rick under a mattress like the Victoria's Secret catalog and whatever.
Right.
Jerry claims he was ordering her a birthday present. Ha ha ha, it's funny. The assistant doctor, the hunk guy from the office there, interrupts to see if Beth's okay because they're arguing. And he spews some hippie nonsense about the horse hearts being noble or whatever. And
okay,
Jerry
makes... I have a little note here that I noticed today on my third watch of the episode. When they're operating, she turns around and she says, "Tom." We can hear the beeps, right? She calls him Tom. When he comes in right now to check if she's okay, she's like, "We're fine, Devon." She calls him Devon.
Huh.
So is that a mistake?
We know,
is it a different
guy? That it was him? Do we see him in the previous scene?
We just hear him.
Oh, I think there were more people. I think it was implied that there were more people in the operating room than just the two of them.
Okay, that might explain it. Because I thought it was like the same guy because he was like, oh, we did something beautiful there. So to me, that was like, oh, so that was him.
I think they had a heart monitor tech, but he was the, and that's the one she's yelling at named Tom.
Tom, okay.
And then Devin is her actual, like, co-doctor or nurse or whatever. I don't know.
Got it.
Anyway, that's a quick canonical explanation that I can think of. Or it could just be a writer flub. Who knows?
Okay. And then, what happens?
Jerry makes the most toxic, insecure comment.
Oh my
red
God.
flags that I've ever seen. If you
Seriously.
have an affair with that guy, I will come into the hotel room and blow my brains out all over your naked bodies. How are they still married?
That is such a red flag.
I am so excited for the counseling episode, the marriage counseling.
Yeah.
Because that is one of my favorite episodes. But Beth argues that whatever influence Rick may be on Morty, at least Morty has a friend now. Phone rings. Dun dun dun. It's Principal Vagina and wants to.
No relation.
And no relation.
To vaginas?
That one's funny because I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense.
No relation to vaginas?
No relation to vaginas?
It just makes me laugh.
It's
So
still
fun.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I need to have a conversation with Morty's father and you. Dun dun dun.
Mm-hmm.
Back to Dimension 35C.
Oh, Rick takes his sweet ass time talking to Morty about you gotta turn the boots on, bro. He's like slow as fuck and like taking his sweet ass time. Morty's like, and he's like, are you still gonna get my seats though? And Morty's like, this is it. This is the last straw, Rick.
It's always the last straw.
It's fucking the last straw. Whatever. He calls him out. And then Rick is like, fine, whatever. Like, okay, I'll be right back.
I think it's impressive that he still asks Morty if he can help him get the seeds.
I know.
Before fixing his legs.
I know. I'm like, Rick, you're being a fucking douchebag right now.
Yeah, you're like Hitler, but, at least he cared about Germany or something.
or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's got to
anyway,
fix Morty, and he goes to a different dimension.
I counted how long he was away. 10 long seconds. 10 seconds of just pure Morty in agony.
Yeah. That's another one of those things. Like, I think the only other time we've ever seen anything like that in any show is when Peter Griffin is on the sidewalk and he scrapes his knee and he's like, and it just keeps going.
Oh.
Is this bit over yet?
Right?
Nope. All right.
It makes me so uncomfortable because me as an empath, I like feel the things that I'm watching. Yeah. So like I'm there like almost feeling Morty's like anxiety and pain, and I'm like, fucking Rick taking his fucking time, 10 long seconds. And then he comes back with the fucking injection with the cure, right? And then...
Correct.
Yes. And then Morty finally agrees to, like, help him get the seats after he's, like, all better. His legs get, fixed. Right away, he feels, like, better than ever. He's, like, jumping around.
So you know what's funny is he mentions here that he went to a future dimension... Yes. Where they've got broken leg serum sold at every corner drugstore. Mm-hmm. But I think it's important to note that he didn't say the future. He just said a future dimension. Yeah. So it's a different evolutionary timeline again, but it is technically the same present time, just with better technology.
Yeah.
And they go to great lengths throughout the series to note that there is no time travel. There's never any time travel, which I think is impressive with this being based on Back to the Future. that they go really far out of their way to make it not about time travel. It's all dimensional travel.
Correct.
Yeah.
I mean, the way they do time travel is through like doing the flashbacks and the memories and like a
Well,
dream,
sure.
blah. But they're not actually time traveling.
Yeah.
But that's just like when we see them in other times. It's because it's like a memory or something.
So anyway, Rick has spent too much time with banging young future dimension ladies, and he's all out of charge in his interdimensional portal device. He doesn't call it a portal gun yet. The only way
he says it has no charge.
Yeah, it's got no charge, Morty, and the only way to go back is to go through customs. And Morty's he's got to put these seeds way up inside your butthole, Morty. I've done it too many times; they'll fall right out of mine. But yours is still taut yet malleable.
Oh no!
Do it for Grandpa, Morty. Come on, you have to.
And this is the part that I said that you had to do it.
That's one of my favorite quotes of all time. Not just from this show, of all time. Like this goes down in the books. Like I will always quote Ace Ventura, a couple of things from The Mask, and this from Rick and Morty. Way up in your butthole, Morty.
In my butt. Oh, gee.
My butt.
Oh, no.
Your butt. My butt. Your butt.
Okay.
Did you get that reference?
No.
Oh, God. Conker's Bad Fur Day. There's an old Nintendo 64 game where the squirrel is the protagonist.
Yes. Yeah. I know which game you mean.
He has to fight a big poop monster.
Oh, my God. That game's crazy.
Yeah. It's like, I will chew you up and stuff you up my butt. Your butt. My butt. My butt. My butt.
Oh, wow. That's so dumb.
Yeah. It is really dumb, but it's a really fucking fun game.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to talk to my roommates about this part of the podcast later, because they're obviously hearing this.
Oh.
Randomly.
My butt.
My butt. Possibly also my new neighbors that I haven't met yet.
Great.
Windows are
first
wide open.
impression. Oh, wow. Okay. Jeez.
It's going to be a really long episode. I don't think we're normally going to run this long, but I had a lot of shit that I wanted to cover.
Get out, yeah. Yeah. Then we cut to Morty's parents walking on this hallway with the principal vagina, and him telling them...
No relation.
He telling him that Morty has attended school for only 7 fucking hours in 2 months. Bro.
Yeah, that's not very much. That's like a wet dream of mine, is not having to go to school.
Right?
They're very much. Like, I fucking hated school.
2 months.
School ruined me. Yeah, and then Jerry gets way too excited about Rick ruining their child, as he says. Vagina tells them he's been sending messages to their grandpa.
Right.
I mean, why not directly to the parents? It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. And he also says that he's the one that it's usually Rick who's taking Morty out of school. So
correct.
Then we pass Summer and the other students mourning Frank in the hallway.
A little incident.
We had a little incident.
Frozen to death. No evidence that a Latino student did it. They always want to take it to the racial place. I won't let them.
I won't let them.
Like, what? What a
Oh
Latino?
my God.
Okay.
Trying not to look racist is the new racism, by the way. Which is why I think that's funny. So, back to interdimensional customs.
Oh my God. I wrote all the things that these people were saying. Can I just tell them? Okay. We're walking by.
And a farm.
Yeah. So it's like, first the on the speaker, the lady is like, the glarp zone is for florping and unglarping only.
I wrote that down too.
I'm like, what is that? Ew.
Honestly, I think we can all identify with that. I think we all know someone who needs to be reminded of that on a fairly regular basis.
It's only for
Alex.
Me!
Yeah. You're always fucking flarping and unglarping.
I thought the camera was up.
And
anyway.
glarparping in
No, I
the
don't do
glarping and
that.
unglarping only area.
I don't believe it was me. I don't recall.
Well, of course you don't.
And then
Wait,
this
you
other
don't
guy-
recall or you don't recall?
Are you doing a? What is happening right now? Are you doing a wordplay on Rick?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. English
Okay.
is not my first language. Okay, remember? So sometimes
Yeah,
I'm
no,
like,
that was not a English as a second language joke. I am sorry.
You're good. No, but I got it.
Yeah,
Just
good,
a little
okay.
slow.
Scared me for a second.
And then the next person says, "Give me the blink flarks." This guy doesn't understand intergalactic currency. And then the last guy says, "Like, I'm trying to eat a flim flam. That's what we're eating. You're gonna ask." That's it. Thank you very much.
And I always think about this, and I'm like, man, they were.
The
I-
words.
I simultaneously like the idea that they're creating this idea that aliens would have alien words to use for things that we wouldn't recognize.
Right.
But that they just did such a half-assed job of coming up with of what they might be.
Yeah.
Flam and
The
glarping and unglarping. Shut the fuck up.
It's so
You're
stupid.
offending me.
Oh man, I love it. So, anyways, Rick says something about that he needs the seeds for all kinds of science, all types of science.
Yeah,
With the
he
seed.
doesn't like being told what to do, can't abide
no.
bureaucracy.
And
Which
you
is
know
good
what? Me neither,
foreshadowing.
Rick. Me neither. I don't like it either.
No, nobody really does. Well, okay, some people think they do, but they've been brainwashed. So, yeah, and Rick doesn't like bureaucracy. Oh, geez, Rick, I never would have guessed. So, Rick makes sure Morty got the seeds way up in his butthole.
Way up in there, bro.
Morty complains that they're pointy, which was the first thing I think every time. I'm like, they're so pointy.
They are.
You would just stab holes through your
Through your-
intestines in
Right?
every
Yeah.
you'd die. You'd die.
I know.
Whatever.
I know.
But they're pointy. We don't see any bulge in his abdomen area. So apparently it's just
They're
fine.
in there. They're in there. Mhm. But so they're gonna pass through the little beep beep. But then they tell Morty to go through the other one. And Rick is like, whoa, what's this? And, oh, it's a new machine. What's the new machine? It's a new machine that detects stuff up your butt.
all the way up in your butt. Oh God,
All the way
run,
up your
Morty!
butt. Run! Oh, I love how he just screams. Fucking Morty. Jesus. Pobrecito.
So the insectoids deploy.
Yeah.
One gets caught up, presumably dead, in this pushcart bin full of strange alien goods that another alien is pushing. An alien is smoking a bong with some kind of creature inside of it.
Oh my
Rick
God.
smashes it as he runs past. Morty breathes in a big puff of yellow smoke, then coughs up this loogie that
Gross
life and
up.
lives and dies a full lifetime from infancy to old age, running alongside Morty in a span of 3 seconds.
Yes.
Rick tells Morty not to think about it. I've spent more time thinking about the impact of that moment than I have spent thinking about most of my extended family.
Josh. And I think that this philosophy of don't think about it is what you have to do sometimes to get through these episodes.
Absolutely.
You
Absolutely.
just you don't think about it, or you're gonna think about it for a very long time, sir.
Yeah, so that being said, the implication of the scale of time alone, did it perceive its lifetime as long? Did it love Morty like a father? Does Morty mourn it later?
Oh
Too
my
many
God.
questions.
Did
Too
it
many
have
questions.
a name? I don't know.
Uh,
His whole life was just running.
Yeah.
He was just running his whole life.
And that was normal. That was probably normal to him. Did he have a variety of emotions throughout this lifetime of 3 seconds?
Did he lose his virginity?
Yeah, it's Horton Hears a Who theory.
Right.
Only on a time scale instead of a size scale. Anyway, they get caught at a locked door. Morty turns on his gravity boots. Rick gives him a small amount of praise for a change. The student becomes the teacher, and they run up the wall, and they start running along a pipe, jump on some flying baggage or passenger transport contraption, and they fall and break their fall on...
Oh, hell no, dog! You know me, I'm just trying to splash!
Splat. It's only the second casualty of the chase sequence. Some random purple blob dude wearing a fanny pack. Did you see the fanny pack?
I mean, he seemed very cool. He was about to say that he's just trying to chill, bro.
Right?
Like, R.I.P. Blubby guy.
Innocent bystander.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it might have been the third casualty if you count whatever was inside that glass stasis pod that Rick knocks over at the beginning. Yeah. But, yeah, whatever. Nobody cares about things in stasis. Like their life was over a long time ago. So they run towards this unguarded open hallway with a big portal at the end of it. No notes. Perfect sense. Mm-hmm. I don't see what the problem is. Mm-hmm. Rick somehow hands Morty a laser rifle. We don't see where he gets it at all. It just kind of is suddenly in his hand, and he hands it to Morty.
Right.
And he tells him to start shooting.
Yeah. So Morty is covering Rick while he types the coordinates.
That was me making those noises.
Wow. Nima! You can hear me. So yeah, Morty's covering Rick while he types the coordinates to their home world. And yeah, Morty's like, what the fuck? And then Rick is like, it's okay to shoot them. They're robots. So Morty starts shooting them. And then this is my fucking favorite, and this would be the quote of the day for me. Fucking Glenn's bleeding to death. Someone call his wife and children.
Kids.
He's like,
they're not robots, Rick. They're bureaucrats. I don't respect them, Morty.
Just shoot them. He's like, fuck.
It's okay to shoot them.
Honestly, that like kind of like, you don't have much time, but it like moved me. It like, I'm like, oh, like this show is like doesn't give a fuck, Like, he will let you feel.
Yeah.
It will make you feel things for a character that you've seen for 2 seconds. But it's like, someone call his wife and children. You're like, fuck it. I'm thinking about like these people, like Rick and Morty are just killing people, essentially.
Right? Even if you've got a bug phobia, because they're insectoids.
Yeah.
And then they humanize them, and that is a game changer.
Yes.
It's kind of important. We learned something about ourselves.
Yeah.
So, anyway, it's good shit. Morty continues to shoot, decapitates another insectoid. We just kind of see the facial reaction of one of them who's like, oh my god, he just lost his head, but he doesn't say anything.
Right.
Rick types furiously and finally Rick grabs Morty, pulls him through the portal, and they're the fuck out of there.
Mm-hmm. And they land in the cafeteria.
Speaking of quotes of the day, they fall right out onto the lunch table where Jessica is eating, who is oddly impressed and not at all completely shattered by having the seams of reality ripped open in front of her eyes.
Right? She's casual about it.
And then Morty is actually very slick about this. She's like, wow, did you just come in through a portal? Well, my Ferrari was in the shop.
Aye, Morty.
I fucking love that.
Yeah.
It's a good line. And I'm like, is this your first adventure, though, Morty, or are you just cut out for it?
I know.
I don't think it is. I think Morty's Mind Blowers, I think there's going to be some Easter eggs in there where we can figure out that this is not their first adventure. Because...
For sure.
I'm going to make that canonical. Whether it is or not, I'm going to fucking shoehorn it in there. I want that to be true so bad.
Okay. Josh has said it, so it is so.
Exactly.
So then Morty and Rick get caught by Jerry and Beth, right? They're moving Rick into a home. Rick is like, don't touch that, blah, blah, blah. They're like moving his stuff into the fucking U-Haul. And Morty's vouching for Rick. You know, like you see this like codependency.
Right? Even though moments ago,
Morty was like, "This is the last straw." Like,
and Rick was even tried to like get out of being blamed for taking Morty out of school. He tried to be
yeah.
like, Morty, what are
Yeah,
you
he
doing
was
here?
like,
You know you're supposed to be in school. No, nobody's buying it. Okay.
yeah. So, well, Morty's
And
like,
then Morty still
"No."
has his back.
Yeah. Oh, and then this is when they reveal that Morty has some kind of disability. This is just confusing to me because they never talk about it again, do they?
They never talk about it again. And I don't think. I think they're trying to imply that he's like autistic or has a learning disability, something like that. Because he.
I don't know. I'm just like, question mark? Okay.
Yeah, and they never come back to it, but it doesn't
Yeah.
sound like they have any official diagnoses.
Right.
It's
Yeah, they're like, oh, he has something. Like, he might not have anything. They might just be like, kind of like interpreting his personality as, you know?
yeah, they're probably doing some self-diagnosing
Right.
and just assuming that there's a problem with him.
yeah,
But
yeah.
then doing that same thing that everybody's done to children for at least throughout my childhood is instead of going, oh, that kid has ADHD and they need extra help and attention. Oh, that kid has ADHD. That is a moral failing on their part and they're lazy.
Great. Love it.
It feels like what they're doing here. Because
Yeah.
who is it that says something about Morty having a disability? Is it Morty or is it...
It's, I don't remember who says, like, who starts saying it. Because I think Rick is, like, arguing that Morty...
Yeah,
Is
Rick
smart?
says, what are you trying to... what are you,
Yeah,
what
he's
are you
like, why are you trying to
about
say
Morty?
that he has some kind of disability? That's what he says.
And then
And
Morty's
then-
like, well, do I?
Do I? And Jerry's like,
well,
duh.
do I, son? Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, I think we nailed it. Nailed it.
Hey.
We got this. This is why you watch Wubba Lubba PodPod, everybody. Wubba Lubba PodPod!
Wubba Lubba Papa! What's the square root of pi? Now,
Yeah.
go.
I have no idea.
Me neither.
You know, actually, I am, because Jerry punches that into his calculator awfully quickly for somebody as dumb as he is.
Yeah,
And
don't
I
know how
want to see right now, square root. You know what? It is 1.772453850905.
Okay. Yeah, that's what Morty
It
says.
is that easy to do. Good to know.
Wow.
All right.
So they're like, oh, Morty's too smart for school. You know, Rick essentially with this proof, like, convinces them that Morty is getting smarter by hanging out with him, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that just like that, Jerry and Beth, they back out of sending him to a home because
Yeah,
Beth
Rick-
is like, I don't want this to end. What's happening here? Morty has a friend finally. It's good for him. Blah blah blah.
They're like, okay, but he still has to keep going to school. And then Rick 100% works over Jerry and Beth, but mainly Jerry. He's like, but gosh, you sure do drive a hard bargain. You really wear the pants around here. From now on, it's going to be 100% honesty and open, clear communication. And at that moment,
Frank got frozen to death, says Summer.
no
And
idea
Rick-
what you're talking about. Perfect timing.
Yeah.
Completely in character, absolutely establishing who Rick is, what he's about, and 100% open, clear communication and honesty is not it.
No, he loves lying. And then I'm confused because Jerry and Beth are just like, Jerry's like, let's go have sex. And Beth is like, okay.
You know what? Okay.
Okay. I'm
You
like,
know, a healthy marriage doesn't seem like you'd have to think that hard about.
yeah.
And it's like she's doing him a favor. It's so condescending.
Yeah, she's like, all right, this time, let's go. Like,
It really establishes their little hierarchy.
yeah.
Like, you know who really wears the pants in that family is Beth.
It's Beth. And really, really, Space Beth, but that's in the future.
Really, yeah. I mean, okay, this is really Rick. Rick is manipulating everything.
Yeah.
But then Beth. The close second is Beth.
And then, right, they go to have sex, and then Rick tells Morty that, nah, he's not. He's not for real getting smarted. That it's just a temporary superintelligence side effect of the mega seeds that are dissolving in his rectum right now.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, gee!
At least he's honest around Morty, or at least it feels more honest.
Yeah.
I feel like we can trust him to be honest around Morty, but there's definitely a lot of shit he's hiding from Morty. Again, Morty's mind blowers. Plenty of shit he's hiding from Morty.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, Rick gets everything he wanted, mainly just to get away scot-free, but he didn't get his seeds. And yeah, the superintelligence was only a temporary side effect. Morty's about to lose motor function, most brain functionality for 72 hours. That's a long fucking time.
That's a lot. Is that 3 days?
3 days.
3 days, yeah. Jesus.
But Rick, he's still fixated on those seeds. Him and Morty are going to have to go back and get more. So they're going to have more adventures.
More Rick and Morty. 100 years.
Rick and Morty. 100 times.
Forever.
Rick and Morty forever.
Over and over. Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty.
www.rickandmorty.com.
PodPod.com. I think one time I checked on all of those domains and they're all bought up and taken.
Oh, shit. I thought about checking. I was like, I should check them.
I would actually be scared to try and go to any of those websites. They could be set up as some sort of honeypot situation or virus situation. Anyway, it's a good show.
Yeah. Do 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 do.
So
that's the end of the episode 1, the pilot.
Yeah, fucking A.
Do you like it?
I liked it. Did you like it?
I liked it too. I think it's a great pilot. It gives you a good taste of everything. Introduction to the characters, to the story, to the relationships, to the possibilities and the context of this world that we're entering.
The possibilities, yes.
Yeah.
And even then, God, I remember my first time around watching it, up until the episode with the multiple, where they establish multiple dimensions, I was like, this is still really good. And then with the multiple dimensions, it just blasted my brain wide open. And I was like you already had me hooked by the balls. But now you just gave me a brain buttgasm from another dimension with this shit, because I've always really enjoyed stuff like that. I mean, Back to the Future, I was obsessed with growing up as a kid. And then another show that I found that really did it for me was Fringe, probably one of my favorite shows of all time. And that's another show where it starts off in the whole first season, it's some cool sci-fi X-Files type stuff. But you don't, and then later they start to do some interdimensional shit, and it's oh my god, I didn't see that coming. Something about it is just really satisfying to me, to my imagination, and it really just lets all of my dopamine and serotonin loose all at once.
That's what you want from TV.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. What happens next?
So, let's see. I'm just looking at my notes. I had a few closing notes. So yeah, there's a few questions throughout the show. I already brought this up earlier. We're going to be talking a lot about are they or aren't they in their original universes, or I was going to talk a lot about that, and then season 6 fucked that all over. Oh, never mind. They're just not. We know definitively now that they are not in their original universes. So no more mystery there.
So canonically, this universe, Dimension C-137, is the family from the Rick, evil Rick? How are we calling him? Yeah.
I mean, evil Morty?
No, Rick. I don't know his like official name, but like the Rick that the Rick is hunting and has been hunting this whole time because of the death of his wife Diane and Beth.
Oh, is it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't pick up on that. All I know is that like Rick is not C-137.
No.
This is not C-137. He is from C-137. And so we know that in season 6, episode 1, when they all get taken back to their original dimensions, he goes back to the one where his wife is dead and he's built a haunting program.
Right.
That is the voice of his dead wife.
Mm-hmm.
That is C-137. So this dimension, we don't exactly know what this dimension is called, but it could be the one that Evil Rick is from, but I don't think we know that yet.
No, I'm pretty sure that it is confirmed. Like, that is
Really?
why he's there. Yeah, because there's a whole scene where Morty, and I have to rewatch, because obviously I've only seen it once. There's a whole scene where Morty is, like, talking to Rick about, like, oh, I don't care, like, that you're not my original Rick, and I don't care what he did, and blah, 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 like, you're my Rick, blah, blah, blah. Because Rick has told him that, I think this is when he reveals to him that he came to his dimension, to Morty's, because I thought that it was Morty's C-137, but okay. So to this dimension that we're always at, the main one, let's say, Rick crashed into the garage. This is when Beth says that, oh, he came back into my life, and he starts living with them.
What's the episode where they end up switching dimensions? Because this ends up being the Cronenberg universe that they're currently in.
Correct, yeah. It doesn't.
So this isn't really the main one. It's the one they jump to in a couple episodes.
But this is...
But Evil Rick would be from the Cronenberg dimension, right?
Yes. Oh my god, now I'm getting confused. But like that's what I know is that the Morty that Rick is always hanging out with is the Morty from Evil Rick. Like, it's Evil's Rick Morty. And the reason why Rick chose to hang out with this Morty and this family and this Beth that is alive and everything was to get to know or to get close to Evil Rick so he can, like, do his revenge for, like, starting the whole thing of, like, killing Diane and baby Beth.
Okay. Yeah, I did not catch all of that. I will have to rewatch those episodes.
Yes.
That's cool. See, we're doing it. We're doing it. This is the kind of stuff we're here to talk about. Thank you.
But episode 1, anything else about it? I mean, Summer, I feel like she evolves a lot from this version, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, this Summer ends up dead. Well, eventually.
Yeah. Maybe that's why then. Maybe this Summer was like...
Right. But she's
not as bad.
I think she was, until the Cronenberg incident, she was almost identical to the Summer that we know into the rest of the season. So this Summer, that Summer, pretty much the same thing. This one just happens to end up dying in the Cronenberg incident that Rick causes. Beth being a clone, that was another big mystery that I was looking forward to being like, is she or isn't she? What a mind fuck. Oh, she is. Okay. And then she fucks her own clone.
Wait, Beth is the clone? Hold on. What do you mean? Was it confirmed? Hold on 1 second.
The most recent episode is Beth fucking her own clone.
No, I know, but like, we don't know who's the clone. They don't know still. Oh. Because remember that in the memory of Rick, Rick has them in two like
Oh yeah, we'll never know which
containers,
one is the clone.
and they're like
It doesn't
flip-flopping
matter. All
because
we know is
nobody
that
knows.
one of them is a
one of
clone.
them is a clone, yes, and one
That
is
there
the
is a
original.
clone of
Yes.
her, and that's really all that's important. And he throws away the memory of which one's which.
Right, nobody knows. Like
We don't know
nobody
which one's the original. Doesn't really matter.
Mm-hmm.
It was what drove me crazy was the idea of sitting there thinking, "Oh
is
my
she a
god,
clone or not?
she's sitting there drinking a glass of wine, going, I chose this life, right? I'm not a clone." That's a mind fuck. But then finding out that there was a clone and she's the half. I think of them as being split, not so much as having an original and then a copy. I think they're the same person and just left
like
and right.
like Xander.
Yes. They're both Xander. Exactly.
Right. All right.
Good callback. Nah. Okay. Anyway, we'll get all into fan theories. I wanted to cover a lot of shit about baseline stuff, about my feelings and origin stories with
Good.
Rick and Morty and all the cynicism and the contemptuousness. And I think I covered that fairly well. And
Yeah, good job.
yeah, so I think we got the tone of the show established. So now we can push through all that and concentrate more on fan theories and character tracking, which we're already doing anyway. It's a good, I think we're off to a good start.
I think so too. Good job, us. And we just broke 2 hours of being live on Twitch. just
really?
just FYI. Yeah.
Okay, well, my recording's only at 1 hour 43 minutes for the actual podcast. Cool.
Okay.
Well, this has been another episode. This has been your very first episode
Hey!
of the PodPod.
Wubba Lubba! I am Alex.
And don't forget to review us on iTunes. Find us on Patreon. We've got a $1, $5, and $10 tier that gives you various fun,
Rewards!
incrementally better rewards. Yeah. There's going to be downloadable content, exclusive video, live stream reminder, and certain percentages off of merch. Check out our website, www.wubbalubbapodpod.com. Check out beerwithbuffy.com. That's our sister podcast that I am also on. Alex stalked me down and got their hooks in me and said, okay, why not? Well, I don't have anything else to do. Find us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, Podbean, email. Everything is basically wubbalubbapodpod.com. There are very few exceptions where it's like Wubba PodPod or Wubba Lubba Pod. Don't worry about it. Just search Wubba Lubba PodPod and you'll find us.
Yeah. For sure. Awesome. Great, fantastic, spectacular. Next episode is episode 2. Is it Lawnmower Dog?
I believe it is Lawnmower Dog.
I'm excited!
Join us next week for season 1, episode 2 of Rick and Morty, Lawnmower Dog.
Do, 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 do. Hopefully we'll have music soon.
Yeah, working on music. We're gonna do it.
Yeah. For sure.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye. Thank you. Bye. Love you. Bye.